Luna! Hey guys, it's Liko. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book review for Confess by Colleen Hoover. This was my very first Colleen Hoover book and I did enjoy it. It's about a girl named Auburn and how she lost her first love of her life to cancer at the age of 15. And then she stumbles across a man named Owen. He's a painter and he paints these confessions that are submitted to him by the general public. They kind of just like shove them through the mail slot. And he keeps them all, and if one inspires him, then he paints about it. I learned that those confessions used in the book were real confessions by actual people. I'd share some with you, but you're gonna have to read the book to find out. Some of them are pretty good, like some Maury shit. So Auburn doesn't have custody of her son, and her son is the only thing that she has left of her first love, Adam, besides a painting. Lydia, which is Adam's mom, has custody of her child. Lydia is a really rude person and seems to be setting Auburn up for failure. She moves away to Texas unexpectedly and then forcing Auburn to have to move over there as well just so she could be close to her son. She seems to not want Auburn to see her son at all. The brother of her first love, Adam, is a police officer, but he seems to be a really creepy guy. I had gotten bad vibes from him from the start. Auburn is like instantly in love with Owen, which is the worst trope in a book for me. It almost ruined the whole book for me, this whole insta-love thing. It was like they locked eyes and then they suddenly had to be together. Auburn met Owen because she needed extra money, so she tried to pick up a job that he works in, like a gallery, and he opens his gallery once a month to sell his paintings. And as soon as she started working for him, he was already comparing her to the evil ex-girlfriend he had, saying, oh, well, those clothes that she wore look way better on you than her. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, you shouldn't really have to compare her love interest to anybody else, but the fact that like he was comparing her to his ex in the very beginning was kind of creepy. It was really annoying. But apparently he has known her from the past, and you know, he doesn't tell Auburn how. You have to read to the end of the book to find out how they know each other. So Owen and Auburn are, you know, kind of trying to date, but not really, because Trey is blackmailing Auburn, saying that, you know, oh, well, if you date Owen instead of dating me, then I'm going to tell my mom that you're dating like a druggie. So Auburn, you know, loves her son more than anything and wants to do anything to get him back. She ends up doing what Trey wants her to, and then she has to date Trey. But the only person she can think about is Owen. It turns out though that Owen really wasn't a druggie. He was covering up his dad's own addiction so he wouldn't lose his job, and his dad is a lawyer. So it was a pretty sticky situation. But I did enjoy the book. If it wasn't for that trope, the instant love thing, then I probably would have enjoyed it more. So yeah, that's basically the book. It's just an instant love story. It is kind of cute, and it does have some action-packed scenes in it. So if you want to pick it up and read it, I do recommend you reading it. It was just a little slow for me. I usually read books that small a lot quicker. I'm going to go ahead and get into the spoily parts of this book. If you haven't read this book yet, then this is where the video ends for you. So one of my favorite parts in this whole book was when Owen forgets Auburn's birthday and he takes her to Target, I think it was Target, and says, okay, you can pick anything you want on this aisle number and that number shelf. So she runs to the aisle and finds the shelf and finds tents. So she thinks tents is like a perfect thing, and she ends up buying a kid tent, and he has like no idea why. And she keeps describing like, oh, this would be perfect for him and he's going to love it. So he's automatically assuming that she's got like another boyfriend or whatever, but he buys it for her anyway because it makes her happy. And this was when they weren't exactly like dating yet, so he couldn't really like say anything anyway. He helps her build this tent in her room, like right by her bed, and he just thought it was kind of weird at first. So they're just kind of like laying in the tent and talking through the mesh, kind of like a confession, even though that's not really what the book, that's not confess, that's not how it's for, you know, confessions, but you know what I mean? It was just kind of cool. Lydia just like shows up at the house unexpectedly with a child, and she's like, oh my God, like freaking out, and makes Owen stay in the tent. Owen accidentally meets the child. So when Lydia and her son leave, he tells her that, you know, I'm not gonna bail out on you because you have a kid. I quoted it. He says, and why there is no way in hell I'll be able to walk away from her now, not after witnessing that, not after seeing how incredible she is when she loves that little boy. Swoon-worthy moment. I mean, being a mom, it's kind of like... And did you know that Owen's cat is named Owen Cat? Like, come on, how cute is that? Trey is like the biggest jerk ever. He's not even a good cop. He's like the bad cop. He tries to bite Auburn. He tries to rape her. He does so many things to her. He beats her. He's blackmailing her, saying that, oh, you can't love Owen, you have to love me, or you'll never have your son again. And it's a sticky situation. Auburn finds out about that, and the lawyer dad, I'm just gonna call him lawyer dad, ends up helping her gain custody of her son because she recorded the interaction between her and Trey, and I thought that was pretty cool. But the end of the book, guys, the end of the book, we find out how Owen knows Auburn. When Adam was dying in the hospital and Trey was forcing Auburn to leave, he's like, you have to leave now, you've already said bye. Like, he was not sympathetic at all towards her, like, you know, because his brother's dying and that was his girlfriend. They loved each other. When Trey's like walking, trying to get Auburn, Owen is also in the hospital. He was in the waiting room because his dad was in a car accident and ended up killing, you know, his mom and his sibling. And so he's in the waiting room, and then he just goes out and just punches Trey in the face and like tackles him and does everything he can to stop him from getting Auburn so she can have more time with Adam. At the end of the book, when Owen painted with Adam's paints, Adam was a painter, and Lydia gave the nurse Adam's paints and was like, well, he's not gonna need these anymore. Like, she's a complete bitch. And so the nurse gives them to Owen because he requested them. So he paints his very first painting, shows Adam the painting at the end of the day, you know, where visiting hours are done and everyone's gone. And Adam was like, oh my God, that is a really nice picture for it being your first time. Can you do me a favor and send this to Auburn? So the painting in Auburn's apartment that she thought was Adam's was really Owen's. And she still has no idea. Like, she never finds that out in the book, but we get to find that out, and I thought it was really beautiful. If you like this video, then please give me a thumbs up. If you don't want to miss any more videos from me, then please subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.